You're listening to WHPK Chicago 88.5 FM, the pride of the South Side. I'm Rhea.
I'm Leia.
And today we have a very special guest with us on Finders Keepers.
Hi, I'm Camille.
Hi, Camille. Camille is my dear friend, my roommate, an off-campus member. Generally an awesome person. And we love her very much, and we're very excited to have her in the studio for some of her last days in Chicago for the year.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. Anyways, this is Finders Keepers, a public affairs show on WHPK. We broadcast every single week for an hour at 11 a.m. CST, so we're so happy you're listening in. And Camille, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then could you introduce the first song that you wanted to play today?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm Camille. I'm a third year at UChicago. I'm from Oakland, California. So to anyone from the Bay Area, it's the best place on earth. Yeah, I don't know. I'm an off, love Rhea, love Leia.
That seemed like you forced yourself to say it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Do you really mean it?
Okay, of course I mean it. I love it. We're kidding. Can you imagine? I was just like, this comes out on air. But yeah, the song that my first song today is a song that Rhea knows that I love, and if you know me, you know that I love. It's Me and My Dog by Boygenius. I feel like if I was ever going to be on this show, I'd have to play it. It's one of my favorite songs of all time, with my three favorite artists, basically. Rhea, Lulu, and I dressed up as Boygenius for Halloween once, and so that's our dedication to this band.
It is. It is. This band has taken us through a lot of college. So,
absolutely.
This is Me and My Dog by Boygenius.
Dream.
Plant a tree for your tomorrow.
This is John Denver speaking for the National Arbor Day Foundation. The land means everything to our way of life. Year after year, America's farmers till the soil, bringing new life from out of the ground. We feed the nation and the world because the land is so productive. But will we be as bountiful for future generations? You know, by planting conservation trees, you can protect the land in so many ways. Field windbreaks slow the wind, holding down the topsoil. Filter strips stop erosion along riverbanks and help keep the water clean. And conservation trees bring beauty and wildlife close by. Plant conservation trees for your farm, family, and future. For your free booklet, write Conservation Trees, the National Arbor Day Foundation, Nebraska City, Nebraska.
Plant a tree today for all the world to share.
You're listening to WHPK, Chicago 88.5 FM, the pride of the South Side. I'm Leia.
I'm Rhea.
And I'm Camille.
Camille is our special guest today who just played Me and My Dog by Boygenius. I did want to break down and cry.
Yes. Yeah, I looked over at you. I felt the tears coming.
It's too early in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, Camille, what do you have for us in this song?
Okay. Well, I feel like there's so much in this song, and I think what I'm always kind of drawn to is how like simple the lyrics are, and yet I think that's something very unique to Phoebe Bridgers and also to Boygenius, is how kind of simple but visceral their lyrics are.
Yeah.
And they're somehow not cliche. Like, I don't know, some of my favorite lyrics are like, even though we forgot to eat, and like we got no sleep because we were kissing, or like I want to be emaciated, where it's like no one thinks of that. But then you put it in a song and I feel like I know exactly the feeling that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Even though it's just like one thing. I don't know.
So Rhea and I were chatting about, like, I mean, every single time we kind of ask our guests, similar questions come up, especially about, like, are you more of a music, like, do you listen to the music more, or are you lyrics first? And I think it seems like you're, like, solidly a lyrics person. Like,
yeah.
Would you say that that's always been the case, or is that something that, like, I don't know, sort of happened when you were, like, growing up?
I think that's always... I don't know. I think I was like, I loved Taylor Swift when I was younger, and then I slowly started branching out because my sisters kind of bullied me, like, for my music taste.
No. You can like Taylor Swift.
I know,
it's
and
okay.
I do still like her a little bit, but she's done some crazy things. But I think certainly now and after college, I'm much more of a lyrics person. I was, like, in musicals when I was younger, and, like, I love musicals still, and I think it's because, like, I just think there's something so clever and poetic about it, and maybe that's just because I've never been someone who's very, like, I don't, like, you know, I play guitar, but I'm not super musically inclined in any instrumental way, and I think it takes something really special to make lyrics not sound cliche.
Yeah, honestly, like, the theater aspect to, like, your musical background makes a lot of... I feel like whenever I meet a theater person who says they like Phoebe Bridgers, I go, that tracks. Because, I mean, what is theater music? It's saying how you feel in a song, because it's supposed to, like, add to the story, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just, like, plot or anything. It's, like, an exposition of what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think Phoebe Bridgers does that, but then, like, just has different instrumentation around it. Also, it's so funny you said the word simple, because that was the first word I wrote down.
Yes.
Because it's so simple, but it hits, like, the heartstrings so quickly. I honestly don't know how she does it. Like, she's one of the few artists that when I hear her song for the first time, I get goosebumps. Maybe it's just, like, the decibel volume of her voice or something.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, I really, like, the one line in this that I'm like, that is so stupid. If I ever wrote that in a song, I would want to actually never write anything again. But she does it and it works. She goes, like, I'm fine now. It doesn't matter. Like, for some reason, that, like, sounds so cliche out of context or for any other artist. But in the context of this song, it's so fitting.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, because you've sung this song a lot.
Oh, yeah. We've sung this song a lot.
So I want to ask, do you tend to gravitate towards music that you yourself like to sing? Is that like, because this is mostly a leading question about like how I listen to music or how I used to listen to music, but I think Phoebe Bridgers to a lot of people is a very accessible singer.
Yeah.
And
It's a very marketable voice, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's very unique.
But you're like you have crazy range.
Please.
So I'm just wondering your connection to music as a singer.
I do think that I learn a lot of music when I can sing it. Like I really do. Like when I would hear a new album, the way that I would learn songs pretty quickly, because I feel like I can learn lyrics pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Is I would play them on the guitar and I would sing through them and I'd learn them again and again, and then I would just kind of like I'd latch onto that song and hear it forever. So I think yeah, it has a lot to do with if I can sing it. And I also just like I feel like whenever I'm listening to a song, I'm kind of humming it. Yeah. Yeah. Aww. And also just like there's such good like memories. I do feel like this song has a lot of different situational memories attached to it, and when I feel that way about a song, it immediately gets me back into it. And like, you know, like I have a lot of memories of singing this with you and Lulu, or like, you know, any other group of two people who know the other harmonies.
Yeah.
And I think because I have that context for it, because we can sing it together, it makes it a song that I can instantly go back to and feel really special about.
I also think there's a part, I mean, when you listen, if you were to like take the lyric sheet separately from the music, it's like, but to me it's like not a sad song, and I think that's interesting because like, I think a lot, like my dad would call Phoebe Bridgers like, oh, Leia, like your sad girl music, like, you know, like that kind of thing. That's like, I feel like it's not totally true. Like there's something weirdly hopeful about the like emotional intensity to it, especially, I mean, I wrote down, my notes like never really make any sense, but I wrote down it sounds like someone's emotions like finally coming out. Like it starts really like, it starts kind of like she's being like blunt, but it's kind of like, oh, this is what happened, and then it sort of breaks blunt. It breaks, like she kind of breaks open a part of herself, and I think that's what makes it weirdly hopeful and not sad, and I think that's what makes it like a song that you can sing with other people instead of just like
the bluntness is interesting because we've talked about it I don't know if I've shared this thought with you, Camille, but there's some songs that I listen to that to me are more explicit than words with actual explicit words in them. Like I think when sometimes I say like, oh, that is so severe, I'm wondering, is that something in this song that you're like, this shouldn't have been written, it's too real, like what the heck?
So wait, can you repeat the question?
Okay. The question is, what are your thoughts on songs being explicit in like an emotional and vulnerable way? Because I'm gonna leave the question at that.
I mean, I think this song, what I also really like about it is that it is kind of complex in its theme. Like when I first heard this song, I was like, oh, this is a love song, like about a happy relationship, and it's just like I want to be with this person, like, and my dog, and we're like in a spaceship or something, you know, and just like that image of it. But then when you break it down, it's like, it's like, you know, and then I thought, okay, this is about how love is humiliating, and you want to give your all to a person, and how that feels, and how heavy that feels, and how intense, like, starting a relationship is. And then, like, when you actually think about it, or when you read, like, the history of the song, or what kind of inspired Phoebe Bridgers to write this, it's a lot more about, like, an abusive relationship, and kind of getting out of that abusive relationship, and these feelings, like, are not normal. Like, it's not normal to have your emotions so revolve around the person that you love. And then, like, when you think about this in context of the next song, like Letter to an Old Poet, which is all about, the catharsis of getting out of that relationship and kind of, you know, what the next step in that relationship. But what I think I love about this song is that it's so contextual, and you can really apply it to so many different things. Like, I remember, like, I think this was, like, my first serious girlfriend song, and, like, we, like, would sing this together all the time. And, like, I was like, oh, this is a love song. It was not a love song that, like, we should have been singing together, but yeah.
Yeah. I had one more question about you as a writer liking Phoebe Bridgers, because you are a writer. And you are. And I mean, we already talked about, like, the simplicity of her lyrics, but this summer, me and Leia have been listening to a lot of Joni Mitchell. So has DJ Eric Hampton on Hampton Summer Jam. And Joni Mitchell, I think the difference there's a lot of differences between them, obviously, but, to me, I think Joni Mitchell writes in, like, poems, and, like, her language is a lot more, like, flowery and something that maybe you would see in, like, a writing piece. But I think that Phoebe Bridgers' lyrics, to me, feel a lot more like speech or conversation. And I'm wondering, does your music taste and how you write at all connect to each other?
Wait, I love this question. You
It's
guys
a
are
really good
awesome. I absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think my writing personally, I think, is a lot more conversational. I mean, I write, like, mainly opinions, or, like, literary things, and I kind of like to talk to my reader in a sense, or just, like, have a little bit of humor, and, you know, like, kind of take a moment to break out and pretend like we're having a conversation, you know, instead of, like, here I'm just telling this story and, like, pointing it back to the reader. I also think that in a lot of literary writing, there's kind of this push to, you know, speak in long sentences and be very, like, have a lot of, like, superfluous language, and I think it's kind of, like, there is a push to have that, but it's also about kind of getting back into just figuring out, like, what works for you and not forcing that. And I feel like
Being concise is hard.
Being concise is hard, and also just, I think Phoebe Bridgers and Boygenius are people who have found the voice that they want to write and sing in, and I think that's something that I aspire to do too, is, like, finding my balance between, you know, like, teachers are always telling you, like, oh, you need more, like, similes or, like, literary language or, you know, allusions, and I don't know, I think it's about balancing what your audience wants and you want as well.
No, it's interesting because, like, I feel like I both listen to music that's, like, really, really blunt in what it has to say, and music that kind of takes more work. I mean, the thing is, this also takes work to understand, and I think a part of that is, like, the contrast between, like, what the lyrics are saying versus what the music is sort of telling you. But I think it's interesting to, like, contrast. Like, what are you looking for in a song? Like, I sometimes I get into phases where I kind of, like, am passively listening to lyrics and, like, not really paying attention to, like, what's actually going on, and then I suddenly kind of, like, go back to the lyrics, and I'm like, oh wow, there's a whole story here that I'm not, like, really paying attention to.
I mean, the song is so musically rich as well. Like,
oh my god,
it totally
There's
breaks.
like a folky background too.
Yes,
and also, like, a rock,
and it totally breaks, like, the typical structure. Like, I think it's just one verse and, like, a chorus, and yet
it's
you
weird,
still feel like you have resolution. Like, that's what I also think is so great about this song.
Yeah. This song is just, again, like, when I first listened to it, you know I don't listen to lyrics the first time. Like, the music was what gave me goosebumps, and also something about Phoebe Bridgers that maybe I want to ask, because I think I might be tripping all the time, or maybe I'm just so rhythmically challenged, but...
There's no way.
No. No. I just, every single time I listen to a Phoebe Bridgers song or, like, try and hum along to it, I cannot get her rhythm down. Like, ever. I don't know if it's just me, but I think like, while we keep saying the words, like, simple and everything, it's so complicated. It's so complicated when you get, like, down to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's, like, her rhyming structure is extremely difficult to follow, so it's also, like, that's also, so it's hard to figure out, you know, like, what comes next and kind of knowing where that beat falls. And, like, I think what's been helpful is just kind of playing these songs on the guitar and then, like, learning them through that way. Because then you kind of, like, you know this drumming pattern that go back
I also feel like you can take some of your own, I don't know, put your own spin on it. I feel like, I definitely have played a couple Boygenius songs on the guitar, and every time I mess up, I'm just like, oh, no. And also, another thing I find, I mean, maybe this is a segue into...
Yeah. Or...
Oh, wait, actually, for some reason, I thought you were playing another Boygenius song. I think it's really interesting that they, like, carry on the stories that they tell into new albums, and I think that's... I mean, I think a lot of artists don't do that as explicitly as they do, so I'm really glad that they kind of, like, say that, and they don't shy away from it, because, it's cool to have that continuity.
Letters to an Old Poet. Oh, so
God.
sad.
So good.
But so beautiful.
Okay, Camille. That was me and my dog. Do you want to introduce your next song?
Yes. Okay, so my next song is I'm Your Man by Mitski. I love Mitski. She's devastating, but I also feel like, I don't know, I think I listen to Mitski when I want to feel like there's another person who feels and can kind of capture exactly the way that I'm feeling. I think Mitski is she has a lot of attention to detail in terms of the atmosphere she creates. Like, one of my other favorite songs is Two Slow Dancers, and I didn't want to play it because it was just way too sad. And, like, this is also an amazing song, but I think it has a more hopeful kind of sentiment to it.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of devastating. So, yeah, I feel like the atmosphere is probably the most important thing in this song.
All right, this is I'm Your Man by Mitski.
Like a
Our PSA of the day is that you should come to the Off Campus O Week show on Friday night at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
But you're listening to WHPK 88.5 FM, the pride of the South Side. This is Finders Keepers. I'm Rhea.
I'm Leia, and our special guest,
Camille.
Yay!
Camille, you just played I'm Your Man by
Yes.
Mitski. And my first question is, what is it about a goddamn guitar that in a song that you like?
I don't know. It's just like
I'm just noticing a theme.
I think my music taste is very acoustic. Like you know that thing where you can see like how
Yeah,
acoustic your
yeah,
music
yeah.
is. I think my numbers are always like 40% more acoustic than the average, and also like 60% sadder. Like it's kind of humbling when I look at those statistics. But
No, it's not humbling. That's awesome.
well, I think the thing about Mitski is that it's like.
She's super experimental too,
She's
and
super,
digital.
yeah, especially this album. Like she very much fluctuates
What's
with
the
each
album?
album. This is The Land is Inhospitable, and so are we, I believe. I know, that's pretty experimental. But like this song, I feel like her lyrics also make no sense sometimes, and they're
super,
very
yeah.
contradictory. Like it's just like, you're an angel, I'm a dog. Okay, like what does that mean?
What is with these dogs? As
Right,
well?
okay, that's the other thing, is what is with
Yeah.
these dogs? I miss my dogs. But I feel like the atmosphere that she creates, like, so guides you to figuring out how you're going to feel, you know? Like, and if you read these lyrics, you could take it, like, 1 out of 100 ways. But with the atmosphere, you're like, oh my god, she's so freaking tortured.
Yeah.
And, like...
Wait, your atmosphere is such a good word.
Yeah.
Because when I was listening to this song, especially near the end, it sounds like this could be, it sounds almost movie soundtrack-esque, where, like, the song is playing in the background, but
Yeah.
you can still hear, like, what's happening in
Yeah.
the movie.
Oh my God, yeah.
And, like, that's what it sounds like. Like, she's really creating so much context, not
Yeah.
with her lyrics, that you kind of are, like, forced to see her vision.
Yes.
Which is, I think, very different from Phoebe Bridgers
Yeah.
and Boygenius that we were just talking about. Like, I think they're very open to ambiguity and letting their listeners interpret the way that they want to. But Mitski feels much more specific.
Yeah, like, super controlled environment. And,
Yeah.
like, and yet you still kind of feel... Not like you're being manipulated by Mitski, but like you're like, oh, Mitski and I are manipulated together. Like,
I also think it's interesting that both of these songs are like directed towards this like ambiguous you. I mean,
Yeah.
that goes for a lot of songs, so it's not like anything crazy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, it's interesting that like they're kind of addressing this like mysterious
Yeah.
other person, but like there's nothing like you're not gonna know who it is. Like
Yeah.
there's so much ambiguity surrounding it, and like, but like in this case, I really think it's interesting because like. I don't know, like, it's just repeated again and again, and that repetition gives it the, like, emotional, like, volatility it has.
Yeah.
It doesn't break, it doesn't do anything, and the
Yeah.
fact that the sounds build in the background, but, like, nothing ever happens to the guitar, like,
Yes.
that's so cool! I love it.
Like, she finds one thing
Yeah.
that she loves and she just beats it to death. But, like, in doing that, like
yeah.
like, my other favorite song by her is Two Slow Dancers, and she picks this one line where I think the line is, to think that we could stay the same, and she just says it
Yeah.
over and over again. And, like, that in itself is... You know, like, it's making a point. It's, like,
Yeah.
still just, like, grasping onto something and flailing, and,
We've talked about repetition a lot on this show, especially with, like, catchy songs and, like, how a lot of times pop is labeled kitschy for having a hook. And I think that, like, what a lot of... I mean, I'm curious to know about your transition from listening to a lot of Taylor Swift to listening to more of this stuff, because Taylor Swift is like iconic catchy hook girl,
Yeah.
whereas like the repetition in these songs, it's like an earworm, but it's
Yeah.
so different.
Yeah.
Was that like were you like, I'm gonna start listening to music like this instead of that because your sisters bullied you?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think
bringing it back to the child.
it's always back to the childhood.
Oh, it's always back to the time.
I mean, I think part of it was I was young and I didn't really know what I liked. And I think when you're young, it's super easy to latch on to pop. And also, like, that's what plays on the radio, and, like, that's what you hear in the car with your, like, family. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, like, this is so fun. I remember this song. Like, I remember listening to it on carpools and stuff.
yeah.
I think, like, the first Phoebe Bridgers... I think what the started the change was I was, like, really sad. And I heard, like, Killer in the Sound with Phoebe Bridgers, and it's the most depressing song ever. It's like 7 minutes of sadness. And I was like, oh my god, I love Phoebe Bridgers. Let me listen to more of her music. And I think it, you know, like I could use an aux and I didn't have to listen to radio. Like, I think it was having more control over what kind of music I could listen to, and also just getting that little break into it and out of pop. But
I'm curious about like your music routines. Like when do you find yourself like listening to a specific song, or like do you kind of just like go on your phone and like shuffle things, or is there like I know some people that have come on are kind of like they have a very specific, I don't know, method or like ritual, I guess. I mean, I feel like ritual is the right word.
Are you somebody that always has like headphones in?
Oh yeah.
Or like, do you choose to listen to this kind of music on walks, or like when you're doing something, or do you think of it as its own activity?
I mean, I think, like, I'm the kind of person that always is listening to music. Like, my Spotify minutes is, like, over 100,000 or something. Like, I don't remember.
Legend.
But I think it's because, like, I can't do anything in silence. Like, I always, like... yeah, we can talk about this. But, like, I need to be multitasking, and I think listening to music is really helpful to not feeling like I'm kind of alone doing something. I had this science teacher once who was, like... if you listen to music that like a lot of people do this while they're working because it kind of homogenizes your background. But like if you're listening to nothing and like a dog barks outside or there's a car horn, like that can really disrupt what you're doing. So I feel like I'm just always listening to music as like kind of a background thing. Like I can't listen to music I don't know if I'm doing work because I'll try to pay attention to the lyrics.
I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, I know. Dude, you and Coconut Mall. Has that come out on air yet?
Wait, I think we have talked about it.
To talk about it anymore.
No shame on the air, okay?
No shame.
This is a judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
But I think I get really caught up in like a few songs each month, and I have playlists like that are like, oh, this is my summer playlist, and they're not specific at all to anything except for just like I hear a song, I like it, and I beat it to death, and occasionally I come back to songs that I've beaten to death, and yeah.
I've been thinking, this is kind of not off the train of what you just said, but this entire conversation I've been thinking about this interview I saw with Dua Lipa, where Dua Lipa was talking about artists that put out very emotional, expository, personal music, and how she doesn't do that, and how she like really creates this she intentionally creates a separation in her lyrics and her songs between like her emotions and feelings and her music. And I think all three of us very much really like music that is super personally expository. Like I think we like that vulnerability in a song. But I do want your opinion, again, as both a singer, a writer, and just like a person, on like, do you think that it's I don't even know how to say. I'm just gonna say it the harsh way. Like, do you think it's a little violating to put songs out there that are like maybe what you would put in a therapy session? You know, because I think it's been something that's been talked about more recently. You know, this era of like oversharing. Do you think that like publicly shareable art should be that emotional?
I mean, I guess like the question could be like, should there be trigger warnings on music?
No, yeah, okay.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, I don't mean it as a yes or no question. I kind of just want to get your thoughts on like what is it fair to dump?
I mean, I think it's definitely fair to dump. Like, I don't think it's fair to ask someone to dump. Like,
right.
You can't be like, oh my god, this person just had this breakup. Like, I want to hear a song about it right now. And I think like it's fair to dump, and I think it's also really helpful because if someone dumps and there's like 25 lyrics and 2 of them pertain to me, but like those are really powerful for me, I think that's helpful nonetheless.
Yeah, it helps to like word things that like you didn't otherwise know how to say. I think that I'm thinking about this a lot in terms of like, because I think my music taste is kind of split between songs that are like shrouded by like metaphor or like subtlety, and you have to kind of like look up more about the artist to like kind of understand. But I think it's kind of, or at least I don't know if you resonate with this, but like it reminds you that they're also just like people who are going through things similar to you. That kind of brings them down to earth in a way that like I think a lot of pop has there's been like a kind of shift to like a singer-songwriter kind of pop
100%.
more recently, which is really interesting, and I think it's like that's definitely going to change. But I think it's interesting to see that like even music that is danceable and like whatever has this kind of really like volatile emotion.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad.
No, I don't think it's bad either.
Or like necessarily like the bad, like it's
Yeah.
not either, but I think it works for people.
And I think that's what's nice about music is that you can kind of like, I think we listen to music very differently, Rhea, but where you can just listen to the music and you can kind of tune out the lyrics.
Yeah.
Or if you really want like an emotional experience, you can listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you, and I just thought I'd ask the question because it's been something I've been thinking about, and these are two very, very... I mean, you said, like, the quote you said is, Mitski and I are manipulated together.
It's true.
I know, it is true, and I love that, but I think that it's actually, like, a very conflicting thing for a lot of listeners, so I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm sitting down with her, and, like, we're both listening to it somehow.
Yeah.
Like, that was also, like, at her concert.
Super
like, it was,
parasocial.
yeah, it was, like, wait. Actually, I did interview her bassist, so I felt like I had, like, some kind of connection to her, which was insane.
Camille.
Yeah, I interviewed her bassist, like, 1 hour
For
before the show.
Firebird,
For
right?
Firebird, you guys should apply to Firebird. We're the music magazine on
I
campus.
feel like we're supposed to endorse Signal magazine.
No, but it's okay. They're not real.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
for
we'll
Firebird.
bleep that out in our YouTube version.
But like at her concert, it was like it's all music like this, where it's not danceable. Everyone's sitting down. Like what kind? You know,
More sitting down concerts.
Yeah, more sitting down
please.
concerts,
I
but
just wanna
she-
sit and sway.
it absolutely still felt like I was engaged the entire time. I mean, and that's because she was like dancing around the stage like a freak. Like it was so natural and also unnatural, and it was depressing, and it was beautiful, and like I was there with Lulu, and like I just felt like I don't know. It's so
It's amazing to see artists whose music you can tell is therapy for them. Like it's like what they're like born. It's like this is like how they know how to express their feelings. I know a lot of people said like Amy Winehouse used to only write songs. Like used to write songs because it was the only way she knew how to express herself. And I think that that's though they're always the weirdest performers. Yeah. Because they're just like doing what they would probably do in their room. Like I think about Maggie Rogers and how she dances, and she used to get super clowned for being super weird. But it's like no, that's just like how her body moves when she's like happy and like feeling it. And now I want to go to a Mitski concert.
Oh my god, it was life changing. Like it was beautifully done. The production was so good, and it was actually freakish. Lulu and I have some good stories to tell from those, but it'd take too long.
Okay. Do you want to go into your next song, or do you have more to say about Mitski?
I don't know. I think Mitski, like every Mitski song that I discover, I think Mitski songs are hard to get into sometimes because there's so much variation, and some of them, especially in like the genres, and some of them are actually like insane because they're super experimental, and I don't think my music is that experimental. So I would say if you're gonna listen to Mitski, hit me up. I'll give you a playlist of approachable Mitski songs.
Wait, you made one for me already.
Oh my god, I did. Yeah, I love doing this. I also think seeing her in concert made a lot of her music more approachable because it couldn't have a lot of the like sound effects that are in a lot of her music. But this album, I would say, is probably her most approachable and less experimental. But.
That's interesting because my first introduction to Mitski, I never knew about Mitski like in high school. Well, I did because I had friends that listened to it, but I always thought of it as like the super alternative electronic
like banging
synth.
like pots and pans together. Yeah.
And I was like, this is something I'll never get into. But then you showed me Mitski, and I was like, oh wait,
Yeah.
nice.
Yes, there's a lot of gems buried in there.
Yeah, super. All right, would you like to introduce your next song?
Yes. Okay, so this next song, I was like looking for something that was just fun and that I recently love. I actually first heard the song in the L Word, which I've been watching so much. Leia, you know about this.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. I like this song. I think this song for me is indicative of how attached to memories a lot of songs are for me. And like that's what keeps me coming back to it. So I love musicals where I've seen the musical and I know exactly what the two characters are doing in that moment, or like like this song was in a TV show, so I remember that. But I think this is also just like a fantastic song that is so fun. So this is Dream by Alice Smith. Cool.
When I wake up in the morning time, I like to see you sleeping by my side. I think about the nights we had before. Wanna give you this and more, let you know I truly adore you. Being with you, loving you, that's why you're so sweet. When you kiss me, you're making my knees go weak. We could be forever happy through rain or whatever. Never gonna take the fantasy away from you. I need to be everything you see in your dreams. It seems to me you'll never find another lover good as I to give you all that you need. And I'll be there to love you each and every night and all through the day. There was a time I didn't have you around. Back in the days my heart never made a sound. Now it's beating loud, my head's in the clouds. Never doubt that I'ma always be down to hang around you. You're making me feel so good inside. Way I feel when you're loving me makes me wanna cry. Off the strength of the things you do, make my love dream come true. Moving me to tell you that I love you. I need to be everything you see in your dreams. It seems to me you'll never find another lover good as I to give you all that you need. And I'll be there to love you each and every night and all through the I'll be there to love you each and every night and all through the I'll be there to love you each and every night and all through the I'll be there to love you each and every night and all through the I'll be there to love you each and every night and all through the I'll be there to love you each and every night and all through the day. I'll be there to love you each and every night and all through the day.
You're listening to WHPK Chicago 88.5 FM, the Proud of the South Side. I'm Leia.
I'm Rhea, and our special guest is...
I'm Camille.
Hi, Camille.
Camille, what did you just play? And tell us what you know about this song.
So I played Dream by Alice Smith, which I first heard on L Word. And I've probably listened to it about 1,000 times now. I feel like this is going to be my top song of the year.
It might be mine too.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good.
Like, this song, I feel like I love a song that makes you work. And like I love it. Like, I love, like, she, like, the way that she never finishes the lyric until the very end. It makes you, like, it forces you to listen to the whole song because you're like, I can't just, like, stop halfway through.
Damn,
like,
that marketing tactic.
yeah, literally. Dude, someone told me that once before about, I think it's, like, Electric Love, like, stops, like, it doesn't finish the full riff at the end, so it makes you want to listen to it again. And, like, I never stop thinking about that. But, like, I feel like the first time I listened to the song, I was like, wait, I'm really freaking annoyed because, like, it's ending and, like, I haven't heard the full lyric. I haven't heard, like, that belt. Like, I just get to that, like, climax of the song. And then now that I know that comes at the end, I listen to it, like, 1,000 times over. Yeah.
I really, really see, like, the Camille, like, musical background. Or, like the fact that you did, like, musicals. Like, I feel like it,
Because
this feels like a number. This feels like a
Yeah.
number where, like, there's, like, a dancing aspect.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's because we watched Singing in the Rain, Rhea, and I've been thinking about...
Oh my
Wait,
God, love
honestly,
Singing in the Rain.
that movie is crazy. Sorry, we won't talk about it.
No, but I do think it's interesting because I can't really define exactly what genre it is. I mean, as I was saying off the air, because it's a little bit like... I got a lot of Amy Winehouse vibes, but I also got, like, weirdly, like, Beatles vibes. I don't know how to describe that better.
Yeah.
And it's... I'm interested... Do you listen to a lot of music that sounds like this, or is this, like, a newer sort of part of your taste?
I think this is, like, I listen to, my music taste is the two previous songs, like a lot of Pete Bridgers, Mitski's, but I love a dance song that I can dance to. Like, I think, like, sometimes I'll get in a mood and I'll just play, like, so much, like, 2010s, like, rap music or, like, songs like this.
You're a groovy girl.
Yeah, I just, like, any song with a beat where I can, like, move my hips is, like, that is it for me. And so I think it's very varied, but this one, like, I just love, like, the la-las and, like, the horns and, like, I feel like my body can immediately find what I'm gonna do and, like, the beat of it, and I think, like, that's also really special. This is a song I play in the car, like, often.
It's funny that you say dance because most people think, like, house music, dance music, electronic music, but this is dancing, I think, in a different way.
Yeah.
And I can so see you dancing to it. Just knowing your arsenal of moves that you have. I can imagine it. But, Leia, when you were like, I don't know how to describe it, I've been thinking about a lot of more modern bands recently, like, you know, Lawrence, and, you know, Sammy Ray and the Friends.
No.
Do you know? No? Oh my God,
Deep
interesting.
cuts.
No. They're pretty new people. Or even, like, Remy Wolf, who, like, they all have, like, really classic instrumentation. Like, they've got, like, the horns or, like, orchestral music. And then they have, like, the super classy, like, vocal timbre.
Yeah.
But then it's, like, such a modern melting pot genre. Like, it's like a little bit of funk and a little bit of dance and a little bit of jazz and a little bit of, it's just so groovy that I think it's like making a bit of a resurgence in pop. I don't know what I would call the song, but I feel like
The song is from 2006.
It's
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The cover makes me think it's super Y2K. But I.
It's timeless though. Like it has like a classic
timeless.
kind of.
Yeah, like the structure is such that it's definitely like like it could be a pop song, but also like her voice is so strong that
So strong.
like yeah, I don't know.
Ugh, no, also the theater thing, like the vocal. when you can tell someone's okay. I was saying this about Phoebe Bridgers and Boygenius and Lucy Dacus, all of them, Julian Baker. They have they often wail, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're wailers when they sing. Like, I love a singer that just puts it out all on the table. Because even though Phoebe Bridgers is this, like, soft little, like, super soothing voice, you can tell that she doesn't, there's a degree to which she doesn't care that she calls herself a songwriter before a singer.
Yeah.
I would assume that Alice Smith maybe calls herself a singer before a songwriter.
That's a good assumption. I mean.
Yeah, but but they both have this aspect of just like laying it out all on the table no matter how it comes out. Like, this is a loud song.
Yeah, like that build at the end where you're just like, oh my god, like I feel like she's just like I could see her like throwing her body into it and like, you know, like yelling it out. And
I'm just thinking about, well, there was this one time that Camille at a little off party we were at belted out "The Winner Takes It All."
Yeah, it haunts my dreams. Actually,
no, it was genuinely everyone in the room
was
was
sharing with all of Chicago.
yeah, I mean, it was genuinely like amazing, and all of us were in awe and stunned. And Camille never lets us bring it up, but I'm gonna bring it up. No, it was good because you just like were singing your heart out, and it was perfect. And you laid it out all on the table. You were wailing the freak out of it.
I do feel like there's something to be said about the fact that, like, dancey songs don't have to be emotionless.
Yeah.
And, like, that's, like, something I'm always advocating for. Like, have them be really strong.
Yeah.
And have them be really intense and, like, angry or sad or happy. Like, that can still be there, and you can still want to move your body to it. And I feel like this embodies that really well.
And I don't think it's as much in the lyrics. Like, I mean, if you look at the lyrics, it's like they're like I do love the way that like
there's like one singular
timbre,
message.
Like, yeah. I mean, like the first two verses, I really love what she does. Like the structure. Like I don't know music words, so like this is what you know, but it's. I think it's definitely in her voice, and it's definitely in the build at the end, and kind of like, you know, leaving those little Easter eggs around that, like, this is where the song is going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, beautiful. Now I'm reading them. It is like poetry.
Yeah.
It is super, like...
I need to be everything you see in your dreams.
Yeah.
But, like, it seems to me you'll never find another lover good as I... Like, there is, like, something, artistic in there, you know, like the another and lover rhyming, like it is very pleasant to listen to, and it's like fun to hear her get into that rhythm of those lyrics. But yeah, the lyrics are not like top tier. Like I don't listen to the song for the lyrics, I listen to it to like hear her belt and like, but like this is gonna be my top song. It's so good.
I love that. No, I think when somebody can like imbue the emotion they're trying to say in their voice rather than, I mean, that's kind of the art of musical theater, is to like use your voice as to give context. And I think that's so impressive, and it's like what every vocalist like dreams of doing. Dream by Alice Smith. Okay, what else about this song, Camille?
I mean, I think it's just so linked to that TV show also. Like, I do have, like, the memory of watching this TV show and hearing the song and then having to look it up. And I think it's, like, that's kind of the same with, like, musicals for me and also just, like, any kind of song. Like, I think first I listen to the lyrics, but if I have a memory attached to it, like, that is what causes me to return to a song or feel, like I can go back to a song. Like, with musicals, like, I can't listen to a musical soundtrack before I've seen the musical because I'm just, like, I don't know these characters. Like, that's like I've never gotten into Hamilton because I've never seen it. Like, I'm sure, like, if I did see it, I'd love it. But, I think memory is such a powerful tool in this song, and also just a lot of my music taste.
Can I ask, what is the memory you associate with I'm Your Man?
Well, I think, okay, the memory that I most associate with I'm Your Man is, like, I played it for Bella once, and I think it was the first song that I played for her. No, maybe not the first song, but I was, like, really coy at first playing songs for Bella. I was like, I really don't want to be that person that just, like, whips out the guitar and is like, all right, let me play, like, 20 songs for you while you're trying to fall asleep.
Male manipulator.
I know, literally. I can't remember the first song I played for her, but I remember I was, like, because I sent that song to her, and then while we were like apart or something, and then I was like, oh, like I've learned it for you, and then I like wouldn't, but I wouldn't play it for her for like a week or something, and eventually I know I was like, yeah, I was sucked, but eventually I did play it for her, and like this is like that's like one of our songs too, and now I gave her like a necklace that has like a Monopoly dog on it or something, and like wrote the lyrics out for her. Mitski.
So cute.
Yeah. That's like lesbians, you know?
Okay. Okay, well, yeah, let's talk about lesbians. Let's talk about the L word.
Oh my god.
So what was happening in the L word?
Well, I can't
No,
spoil
no,
it. We
no,
have
no,
like
no,
a
no.
resident,
Oh.
I'm still
Fine.
is it really that bad of a spoiler?
yeah, kind of. But
Oh,
okay, like it's like
damn.
these two characters like get back together over like
Oh,
the
wait.
sound and like they're in a club.
Bet and Tina?
Yeah.
Okay, well we knew that was coming.
Okay.
And they're like in a club and like this is the music playing in the background and it's like
Oh.
non-diegetic or something.
Okay.
Non-diegetic.
Yeah,
Pulling
please,
out
please.
the film analysis. Yeah.
That's what happens when you take intro to film.
Wait, I did that exact
Yeah,
class
literally.
Oh
too.
my god. Wait, sorry, I know I'm jumping around, but I'm why did you choose I'm Your Man specifically to learn for Bella? Or did you already know the song and you were like, I'm gonna learn it for her?
I think I already knew the song, and then one day, this was like at the beginning of our relationship, but like the beginning of a lesbian relationship is like the most intense thing you've ever felt.
Camille.
Highly recommend. But I think I was like listening to it like 2 weeks into our relationship, and I was like, oh my god, like I am her dog. Like I'm like. Like she's my man, and so I sent her the song. I think we were just like apart for like a few hours, like
Oh
at different
my
classes,
God.
and I was like, oh my god. And then we both like separately listened to it like 20 times, and it was just the most heartbreaking thing ever. Like that's the thing with Mitski is that it's like that's not actually that romantic of a song. Like low-key it's kind of manipulative, or like it's kind of
We're just having a weird noise in the studio, but
Some
we should
alarms
be
are
back.
blaring.
It's not the phone because usually that thing would flash. So I think we're fine. We can keep.
Okay,
moving.
okay, I think we're fine too. That was kind of scary though. Maybe it's an Amber Alert.
yeah, that's what the sound is, I think.
Anyway, stay safe out there, Chicagoans. I don't know, maybe there's like someone getting kidnapped in like no, like you know like the elderly Wait, I'm not being clear at all. Okay, like always when that I feel like that's the sound that plays on my phone when an elderly person gets kidnapped.
Wait,
what are they called? Like silver alerts?
I thought that was the Amber Alert.
Amber.
Is that the Amber? I thought that
Yeah,
was
but those
I
are
thought
for
Amber was
children.
kids.
That is children, yeah.
Okay. I mean, if someone can answer this
No.
pressing
I'll
question
look
for
it
us,
Call in.
Call in. Let us know. Don't send an Amber Alert. We're fine.
We're
Yeah.
nearing the end
Yeah.
of the hour, Camille. This is your time on air to say whatever you want on air besides curse words. So
Or secrets. Or you can tell us your
Yeah,
secrets
secrets.
too.
or you can tell us your secrets. But is there anything you'd like to share with the WHPK listeners?
I mean, you guys are awesome. You ask such good questions. Like, I just had a blast in this hour talking about music.
It went by so fast.
Yeah,
It did go by so fast.
it did go by so fast, and it's just such a safe space to just talk about music for an hour. Like, if you want to join Firebird, we just talk about music, and you don't feel pretentious about it because everyone's talking about it. I don't know. I think music is... This is, like, it's everyone's soundtrack to their life, but, like, literally just music is, like, I can't, like, I'm always listening to it, and
Yeah.
it's such a joy to be able to talk about it with people, because, like, these are the songs that I listen to alone all the time, and it feels really special to share that with more than myself.
Wait,
So-
thank you for
Yeah,
sharing it
thank
with
you.
us. It was
So honored that you
lovely.
shared.
Oh my god.
Dream on, baby.
Yeah, Stream Dream by Alice
Stream
Smith.
Dream.
It's an insane song.
All
It makes me
right.
feel so good.
Well, this has been Finders Keepers on WHPK, Chicago 88.5 FM, the part of the South Side.
Tune in again next week, 11 a.m. CST. I've been Leia.
I've been Rhea.
And I've been Camille.
Thank you.
And if you're interested in being on our fall quarter roster, you can catch us on Instagram at finderskeepers.whpk, or you can text me at 347-693-6390. That's all.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.